Ngayong araw ay makakasama natin sina Department of Energy Secretary Sharon Garin at LTFRB Chairman Vigor Mendoza upang bigyan tayo ng updates tungkol sa mga hakbang ng pamahalaan upang protektahan ang taumbayan laban sa pagtaas ng presyo ng petrolyo. Magandang hapon, tanghali po, Secretary Garin and Chairman Vigor.
Afternoon.
Magandang hapon po.
Good afternoon po. Ako na muna. First of all po, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. At marami na pong ginawa po at utos ng Presidente ang na-accomplish ng Department of Energy, especially as part of Uplift Committee. Unang-una po, wala pa pong Uplift Committee. Meron na kaming committee na ginagawa despite na wala pa yung executive order ng Presidente on energy emergency. He created a team, and one of the basic tasks of the Department of Energy was to make sure na meron tayong langis sa bansa. Kasi nung una po, ang nervyos ng lahat, baka maubusan tayo. Pero hindi po nangyari to. Kahit wala po yung committee pa, ginawa na po to ng Presidente at inutos na po sa Department of Energy. Through the Philippine National Oil Corporation, which is PNOC, bumibili na po yung gobyerno ng sariling supply para ma-augment, madagdagan ang supply ng ating oil companies. In fact, ang kabuuang 165 million liters po ang ina-acquire ng PNOC. 300 ang target nito kasi is 318 million liters, 2 million barrels. So sa ngayon po, ang na-order at siguradong darating is 165 million, which will come from Malaysia, Singapore, India, Oman, at Singapore also. So marami pong ibang bansa ang kukunan natin dito, hindi lang po galing po sa Middle East para hindi po tayo dependent sa Middle East or sa Strait of Hormuz. At on the other hand, ang ating mga oil companies are also exploring. Kaya po napakaganda po ng numero natin on our stocks, which is 50 days. Usually niyan 30 days lang. Ang 50 days po, hindi po ibig sabihin na mauubos na yun by 50 days, na wala na tayong langis sa bansa. Hindi po gumagala yung 50 kasi po, nagkukonsumo, bumibili yung tao, nagda-drive po tayo, at ginagamit, pero may dumarating po ng mga bagong stocks, replenishment. So, this has been accomplished already. May system na kami with the oil companies. Pag may problema po sila, sinusumbong po namin sa ating mga taga-Department of Foreign Affairs at sila po kumakausap sa mga ambassadors so they can help to make sure na yung mga orders ng oil companies at PNOC at dumarating. Ito po yung whole of government approach. Ang second po is ano yung epekto nito sa kuryente natin. So, sa ngayon po, reportedly, Meralco and all the other all the other electric cooperatives, very minimally increase. Meron pong increase, pero hindi po 5 piso, 9 pesos, or 20 pesos. Hindi po. Hindi po pareho po sa pag-increase ng diesel. The increase is in centavos. Siguro mga 40 centavos, 30 centavos. Dahil po nag-increase ang presyo ng coal, nag-increase yung presyo ng transportation. Pero para po hindi tayo po masobran ng epekto ng diesel sa electricity natin, we have arranged, we have suspended the rules para po dumami po yung coal na mas mura, kumonti po yung mahal na fuel tulad ng LNG, at dinagdagan po natin yung mga operating na renewable energy. In April alone, in advance po namin yung completion at pasalamat po sa mga generation companies natin. Mga 1,400 megawatts po ang na-advance natin. Instead po sa December pa sila mag-operate, pina-advance natin kasi tinulungan natin sa permitting. Ang 1,400 megawatts is good enough to energize 1.1 million households. So laking tulong po yan. Kaya po, with the whole of government approach, we have avoided a sharp increase on the cost of electricity. Ang next po na major task namin is the energy conservation. Kahit po sabihin po natin na 50 days po yung fuel natin, pero kung nag-hoard tayo at hindi pa rin tayo nagko-conserve, baka ma-shorten yan. Kaya kailangan po mag-conserve po tayo. Kung pwede lang po, kaya po nung umpisan may Earth Hour tayo. Ang suggestion namin every week may Earth Hour para aware tayo that we have to save energy. Because we can control ang consumption, pero hindi natin makontrol ang Israel at US. Kung may sasabihin sila or may ginawa sila or may missile sila pinalipad, hindi natin kontrolado po ang presyo. Pero ang kontrolado po natin is our consumption, and that can help our country talaga. Kung mas konting consumption natin, mas secure po ang bansa natin. Na sigurado tayo, itong 50 days na to na stock natin, it will be enough for the whole country to move ang economic activity natin continuous pa rin. So nagpasalamat po ako sa mga agencies kasi nag-inspect po yung DOE more than 500 buildings ng gobyerno, and lahat po nag-adjust at compliant. Kahit dito nga medyo uminit na yung aircon ninyo because this is to save energy, and all the agencies, I think lalampas sila sa 10-20% na na directive ng presidente. We will save more, and I think maganda po ito na activity kasi we will save energy, we will save diesel, we save oil, but at the same time we can even use the savings so that marami pa pong matutulungan yung gobyerno. So at ang kahuli-hulihan po, isa pa po na topic po is the consumer protection. Bantay po ang DOE sa mga gas stations natin tsaka oil companies, making sure na wala silang hoarding tsaka profiteering. So marami na kaming inisyu ng mga directives because of the EO na inisyu ng presidente na bantayan itong mga to. With the emergency powers, meron na po kaming additional power over our oil companies and our gas stations. So ngayon po, sa tulong po ng PNP tsaka yung mga LGUs natin, mga mayors natin, kumukonti na po yung nag-hoarding at profiteering, and we have a more stable supply na rin po sa mga gas stations natin. The same way po sa mga oil companies natin, every week po pinapa-report sila kung ano yung price adjustment nila, ano yung reason nila, and we have in fact coordinated with the Philippine Competition PCC, Philippine Competition Commission, na para to check the behavior of oil companies, kung meron bang cartelization or merong paglabag po ng ating mga rules on profiteering. So far pa naman, these are all under investigation or under observation, para lang po na mabantayan ng maigi. I'm not saying that there are parties that are guilty of this, pero maganda na po yan na meron tayong bantay, nandyan yung DOE, nandyan yung PCC, nandyan po yung ating mga enforcement agencies to make sure that this does not happen. So pasalamat po ako na actually na-discuss to sa Kongreso para we need to improve our system kung gusto natin po mas nababantayan po ang ating mga stakeholders. And lastly po, because of the Uplift Committee, maganda po ito kasi kahapon po nag-meeting po kami with LTFRB, with the OTR, Land Bank, DOE, PCO, lahat po na involved, even the Office of the Executive Secretary. We're all working together to make sure that yung mga plano po ng presidente at plano po ng mga ahensya, we are able to implement. For example po, itong na-mention ng presidente na 10 pesos discount or subsidy sa mga jeepney drivers pag bumibili sila ng diesel. So ito po, talagang hindi po madaling trabaho to kasi hundreds of mga 200,000 yata ang jeepney natin or 300,000. Malaki po, kahit sa Metro Manila po. So we will start with Metro Manila and then later po mag-expand po sa the rest of the country. But this is what we call not just a whole of government but a whole of nation approach, because even today po, habang nandito po tayo, tuloy-tuloy po yung meeting namin with the JODA, the jeepney associations, and also the gas stations, orientation po hanggang po para mapag-implement natin po pag next week. Alam na ng lahat kung anong gagawin. So and this is a collaboration of the government as well as the private entities, and for that kaya po wala pong kahit bakasyon po yesterday. All these agencies went to work and just to make sure na ang mga benepisyo po na pinaplano po ng presidente ay ma-implement po natin next year. So next week. Salamat po. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. Opo. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Ituloy ko lang po muna yung sa fuel subsidy, yung 10 pesos per liter, no? Just to give you the enormity of this program, no? It will involve around 142,698 jeepney and UV Express units nationwide. Ang pasimula lang po dito sa Metro Manila, but with our coordination with the Department of Energy, Department of Transportation, pinaplano na ho namin yung paano to papapalawakin sa lalong mabilis na panahon. Kasi sinasabi ng ating presidente, kailangan namin ibabato sa lalong madaling panahon given what's happening right now on the ground, no? So binibrief na ho namin as we speak right now yung aming mga grupo preparatory po sa ating pilot run over the weekend na mga ilang rota dito sa Metro Manila. And if everything looks good, then handa na tayo. I understand, Sec, around 14,000
Yes.
gas stations will be involved in this program. No? It's never been done before, but it's something that all our transport sectors looking forward to. Kasi 10 piso, maliit na bagay lang po yan kung tutusin. Pero that will start them off for the day. Yung 300, yung 30 liters a day sa 10 piso bawat litro, that's around 300. That can start them off to roll in para makapagkolekta mo sila. No? So this is one of many programs na nakahilera po sa ating gobyerno. One of which, and ito rin isa rin ito binabantayan ng ating mga mananakay, ng ating mga operators, yung service contracting program which will start on April 15. Kasama po dito yung EDSA busway, kasama rito over 840 routes nationwide initially, no? Out of these 840 routes nationwide, jeepney and UV Express runs, mga 543, if I'm not mistaken, are Metro Manila, Rizal, Cavite, and Laguna. Ang maapektuhan po yan dito sa immediate vicinity. The other 300 dito po sa ating ibang lugar sa buong Pilipinas. So we're ready to roll this out already. Nandiyan na po ang pondo. Ang mechanics na to is being laid out already. Babayaran po natin gaya ng ating presidente from anywhere between 30 to 100 pesos per kilometer depende po sa type of vehicle. No? Ang bus po nasa 100, yung traditional jeeps po natin 30, ang modern jeeps po natin 40 per kilometer. So the guidelines are being ironed out today. By today, we will come out with the full guidelines para maintindihan ng ating mga operator kung paano ang gagawin po dito. And one critical salient point po rito, utos ito ng ating Secretary Banoy, kailangan po mabayaran yung mga operator within 3 to 5 days from the time mag-operate po sila. So kung Lunes po sila mag-operate, dapat by Thursday, Friday, bayad na po sila para makaikot sila kaagad. Hindi na gaya ng dati na umaabot ng buwan-buwan, no? Of course, we would be using ang GPS, pero kung wala ho silang GPS, handa naman tayo maglagay ng tao both in the endpoints ng rota para mabantayan natin, ma-monitor natin ng tama yung pagtakbo ng ating mga sasakyan. Salamat po.
Salamat po. Para po sa ating unang katanungan, Ann Soberano, Bombo Radio.
Secretary, good
Ma'am.
afternoon po. Yes po, ma'am. Gusto ko lang po, ma'am, ay i-follow up regarding doon sa sinabi ni Representative Kimbo na itong lingguhang price adjustment po daw na pinapangunahan ng Department of Energy ay tila nagiging daan po para sa cartelization o sabwatan ng mga kumpanya ng langis. Ano po ba yung hakbang po ba ang ginagawa ngayon ng Department of Energy since may mga usapin pong ganito, ma'am?
Apo, I think ang issue is nag-uusap-usap ba sila kung ano yung ang oil price hike. That is a behavior or behavior that should be investigated, no? At kinausap po namin yung PCC to check kung meron ngang anti-competitive behavior po among them. Now, pero isa po is talagang mahal talaga yung presyo ng bili natin ng langis, ano. And kung meron pong allegations of profiteering or anti-competitive behavior, I think on our part po, DOE can give the PCC or any of the bodies na gustong mag-investigate the information that they need if kung anong kailangan nila kasi may pattern ang hinahanap nila dyan. Ano? But at the same time, I think there is room for improvement in our system. Halimbawa po kung ang isa po is every Tuesday kasi yung increase ano. Actually nung pumasok po ako sa DOE ganun na po talaga yung system diyan. I think dati kasi monthly yan eh. So ginawa nilang weekly kasi masyadong malaki yung jump or yung oil price change kung monthly siya. So ginawa siyang weekly. But as observed in Congress, parang nagsasabay-sabay lahat, not only on when they increase but also how much to increase. So I think it's time to revisit also, and I think we welcome any review of the system para po ma-improve kasi po kailangan din po namin ng guidance from our legislators kung ano po mga like whatever legislations they pass in order to improve our system. But this is that would not be under ERC kasi ERC kasi is on electricity, but it would be under PCC po.
Pero sa ngayon, ma'am, may recommendation din po ba kayo sa PCC, ma'am, para to start the investigation regarding this matter?
PCC, we have sent a letter to check based on whatever is happening today, ano. Pero ito po still under investigation kung meron or wala, no? At kung meron man anong activities po. This is for them to determine. Hindi po kami pwedeng determine whether there's somebody guilty or may acts of anti-competitive behavior. But this should be discussed in the proper venue. Apo, ma'am.
Ano po ba ang Department of Energy pangalanan sakali po may mga mapapatunayang kumpanyang nagsasabuatan sa presyo?
Kung meron pong ruling po, any court or PCC man or anybody that has jurisdiction over this investigation or cases, then I think naman kung may ebidensya at napatunayan po, then we should announce also. Pero ngayon po wala pang findings.
Salamat po. Sunod po na katanungan, Clay Pertilla, PTV4. Okay po.
Good morning po, Secretary Garin. Secretary, magkano po yung total budget para po doon sa diskwento sa fuel subsidy po?
I'll just I can explain the mechanism, but I think we need to
I have it.
because it will be the LTFRB that will be disbursing eh. Ang basang ang sa DOE lang is we have the list of gas stations na.
Ang initial budget po dyan is 1.5 billion. Apo. Based on our computations, yung ating isang 142,000 units nationwide sa 10 pesos per liter, abot po tayo ng July 2026.
The fuel subsidy po, covered lamang po yung mga jeepney and UV drivers, not included po yung TNVS.
Hindi pa. Ito yung first phase, mga diesel powered vehicles, specifically ito mga jeepney at UV Express.
Dagdagan ko lang. 10 pesos for every liter. 150 liters per week. So every week, pwede siyang bumili 150 liters, 10 pesos yung subsidy nila. So kung halimbawa 140 or 150 yan, bawasan mo ng 10 piso, yun po yung babayaran nila. Yung 10 pesos po babayaran ng gobyerno or ng LTFRB. And that will be a weekly allotment. Every week siya. And then ang basis po niyan is hindi po yung driver kundi kung anong plate number na meron ka para may konting safeguards tayo and then lahat po na gas stations magkakaroon po ng system, digital na lahat, para po ma-confirm nila kung eto po ba meron pa siyang may natitira pa ba, or kung naubos niya na. So meron pong system tayo para ma-check po na lahat po walang abuso din on the part of the jeepneys and on the part of the gas stations, and also na kino-comply din ng LTFRB yung payment niya. So your question originally was how much, no? So that will be 10 pesos at 150 per week. 150, so 1,500. For every month, that will be 4,500 per jeep. And multiply that with the number of jeepneys for at least July, sir, no?
Yes,
At
ma'am.
least July
Yes, ma'am.
siya.
Half
So
the time
mga
of
ganun
July.
yung budget po. Yes.
Salamat po. So, po na tanong, Rafi Ayeng, Daily Tribune.
Good morning for Secretary Garin po. Ma'am, may public clamor for the removal of value-added tax on fuel to lower the prices of petroleum products. Can you tell us how much revenue loss po ang mawawala sa gobyerno if ever matuloy ito?
How much revenue loss? I'm not from the Department of Finance, but I think the estimate was about 170 billion per year ang VAT on petroleum products. So that's 170 billion also na mawawala sa collection. And it will depend on what will be the design anong gusto natin. Halimbawa, kung buong year, then 170 or 200, no? But that's adjusted also by the price of petroleum. Kasi pag nag-i-increase, i-increase din yung 170 na yan. And it will also depend kung ano yung gusto natin mangyari, kung sa pump price lang ba, or yung sa pag-import lang, or kung saan siya. But that's 170. And is it possible to eliminate the VAT? The VAT is imposed under the Revenue Code, which was under Congress. It's a legislation. So ito po yung nautos po ng Kongreso na i-collect na VAT. So this was imposition by legislation, and it's an imposition that can only be removed through legislation also. Kailangan talaga amendment of the NIRC also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po.
Salamat po. Sunod na tanong, Tristan Nadalo, Newswatch Plus.
Hi, good afternoon po. Kay Sec Green, the President says that the government will maximize the 2-week window to secure more oil following the US-Iran ceasefire deal. So how exactly is the Energy Department taking advantage of this period?
One thing pa ang usapan po with the Iran was that there is a safe passage, ano. So those are three things. It's on yung mga tao, yung mga goods, tsaka yung vessel. So sa mga I think the Department of Foreign Affairs is already working on making sure that our seafarers will have safe passage there. Meron na pong report sila pero wala po sa akin kasi. Pero alam ko meron nang nire-report sila kung ano yung na-identify nila kung nasaan yung mga Pilipino na nagtatrabaho na nandun pa rin sa mga barko. And then ang second po yung vessels. There's only a few vessels pero not necessarily petroleum products ang dala. Mga petrochem ang mga dala nila. So that's not under energy, but I think DFA and Marina and all DOTR in particular are working on making sure that they can be delivered here. And then ang third po is the goods, no? What does it mean when we say na goods ang safe passage? Na kahit hindi po vessel na Pilipino, pero yung dala po nila is para sa Pilipinas, then we're asking for safe passage. So that's what we are checking right now. Fortunately for the Philippines, though, we don't directly import from the Middle East. We actually import from South Korea, Japan, and all the other countries in Asia. But these countries actually import from from the Middle East. So indirectly, medyo atin din sana yan. But that's more difficult to identify. Pero meron tayong nag-iisa na refinery, which is Petron Refinery, that has canceled orders also from the Middle East. So that's what we have been checking kung if they are still pursuing that, because if you've heard already, naghanap na lang si Petron ng ibang source niya, which is Russia. So, ang maganda po ngayon kasi dahil resilient po ang mga Pilipino, we found other sources during this war. So, like PNOC is buying from India, from we're trying to get more from Canada and also from Argentina, kahit ang LPG natin. So, with or without the Strait of Hormuz, meron tayong pagkukunan. This diversification. That's why I said it's managing our risks. Pero ngayon po, na open siya, hopefully it stays open kasi kanina may narinig na naman akong sinarhan na naman. Pero depende kasi sa oras. Pero we will take full advantage of that, and if there is access to more goods na pwede pa tayo mag-order through in the Middle East, then we will work with our oil companies and PNOC for that po. Thank you.
Sec, another topic lang po. This early pa lang, some groups and lawmakers are now calling for transparency in the possibility of the revival of joint oil and gas talks with China. Sa part ng DOE, may progress na po ba itong initially, ay sabi ng Pangulo ay open siya, itong discussion, and was this discussed during your last meeting with the Chinese envoy?
Our discussion with the Chinese embassy was to discuss the orders of our oil companies for for their orders for diesel and gas and all the other petroleum products. And they have assured us at that time, buti na lang naagahan natin kausapin sila kasi sabi nila walang ban po sa Pilipinas na orders. So the orders have been coming in. They have honored their orders, kaya po steady yung supply natin from China. But we didn't talk about the exploration. Now, the joint exploration of China and Philippines on whichever service contract will that be, that's welcome naman. But currently, wala pa pong concrete contract kung ano po. Actually, it's not just China that we are working with. Just so happens that one contract is right beside the 9-dash line, ano? So there might be a need to work together. But we have, si Presidente po nag-sign po siya ng panibagong kontrata, service contracts for exploration recently lang. I think there were 4 ba na contracts. And then originally, di ba, siya yung after a long wait, finally the President extended Malampaya. And then after that, he signed 8 contracts pa for exploration for oil, natural gas, and hydrogen. So, nandyan na po yung mga kontrata na yan. It's maybe some are with Chinese partners, but most of that are different countries and partners. Australia, UK, Israel, iba't iba po. Hindi po lang isang bansa lang pwede tayo mag-partner. We can partner with countries that are capable of doing exploration. So, we're just not confined to that, no? Meron po sila siguro sa mga between private companies in joint exploration, pero as of now po, hindi pa po nasasubmit kung ano po yung mga proposal nila.
Last follow-up lang po
Opo.
doon, ma'am. Siguro po yung maganda po yung nabanggit niyo, ma'am, na not just China but other countries also, but just for the public consumption lang din po. Why do we need to team up with other countries to explore our oil resources? Is it an issue of capacity po ba, or para mas mapabilis yung exploration din?
Hindi po naman kailangan na lahat kailangan may foreign partner, because Malampaya is purely Filipino. And they have 3 drilling activities. 2 po successful na, hinihintay pa natin yung isa. So Filipinos can do this. But some are purely Filipinos, and some have partners, foreign partners. For example, Philippines is the first country in the whole world na merong public bidding for a hydrogen exploration. And for that, that is the first time. Hydrogen kasi medyo parang ano yan eh, that's a chemical product, no? That is done, may process yan para mag-produce ng hydrogen. But this one is natural hydrogen. Lumalabas lang pa siya doon po sa mga Palawan, Nueva Ecija, I believe, Zambales. Meron po tayo doon na natural hydrogen. So for that technology, which is very new, it's an US company that's doing the exploration. Kasi sila po yung experts in the world that know how to drill and transport and turn it into energy also. So hopefully we can learn from that because Philippines has more sites for exploration for hydrogen.
Sunod po na tanong, Jonel Maribohok, UNTV.
Magandang tanghali po to Secretary Garin. Kamusta po ang supply at yung pag-aangkat natin ng LPG, Secretary?
Yes, sir. Ang LPG had a problem kasi mga major producers niya, nag-stop sila ng export, ano. So, but since we observed the problem early on, we talked to the companies, no. So nakahanap sila ng alternative source. Many of them are sourcing not just here in like China, Hong Kong, or yung usual nila na suppliers. So naghanap sila pati hanggang Australia, US. At ngayon po, nakakakuha na sila. May supply na sila, pero hindi pa ganun ka-komportable yung number, no? Even though 15 days lang dapat yan, pero ngayon po, they are at 32 days? 32? Oh, yeah. So ngayon po, ang usapan po, just to make sure, kasi LPG hindi lang po sa bahay yan eh. Sa beverage, restaurants, food production, ginagamit po yung LPG. So, we talk to the companies para po matulungan sila. They will work with PNOC to procure one whole vessel para po masupplyan po at madagdagan po yung supply ng mga companies natin dito. At I think they're supposed to finish the contract now with the new suppliers. Hindi ko lang alam kung anong country ang na-contact for the PNOC contract, pero yun po yung gagawin po namin in DOE. We buy together with our companies for LPG po.
Pero hindi naman po mauubos yung stock natin ng LPG.
Hindi pa naman, hindi po, pero tumaas po yung presyo. Naging mahal talaga siya. I think ang 1,100 naging 1,500 yata. Sobrang laki ng increase ng LPG, but that will stay for 1 month. Once a month lang po yung change ng presyo ng LPG. Kaya bantayan nyo lang po kung meron po kayong mga binibilhan na araw-araw nag-i-increase. Hindi po pwede yan.
Sunod po tanong, Ivan Mayrina, GMA7.
May tanong po ko kay Chairman at kay Secretary. Unahin ko na po yung kay Chairman. Sir, yung 10 pesos na diskwento sa crudo, magsisimula rin yun April 15?
April 14th ang aming
April 14.
target start.
Pero nabanggit nyo ho, this weekend, may pilot ano na kayo?
Magte-test run ho kami ng systems po namin para sa ganun yung pagpaload natin nito, wala akong problema.
Okay, suppose everything goes well in the following days, pati ho sa probinsya,
That's the plan.
patupad na rin?
Yan po ang plano natin.
Sir, yung patungkol naman sa yung off-peak. Bakit ho off-peak? Yun ho yung, at ano ho ba ang oras na off-peak based on that definition?
Actually, it's the peak that we are concerned of, no? Na dapat pagkaroon po tayo ng mga sasakyan during the peak hours pagpasok ng mga trabador at saka paglabas po nila. But we'd like to make sure also that during the off-peak, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang takbo. Mamaya magsihintuan sa gitna eh. So we're monitoring both. But ang ating focus is really the peak hours. Tapos masigurado lang natin na tuloy-tuloy yung ating pagtakbo during the off-peak. Kasi doon mababa ang ating passenger load eh, doon sa off-peak. Kaya pero rin tayong insentibo para sa kanila na tuloy-tuloy ang kanyang takbo. Pero ang monitoring po natin sa peak hours talaga na hindi mawala ng ating sasakyan during the time na napapasok at palabas sa opisina.
Secretary, kasunod po ng pag-announce ng ceasefire, bumaba ho ang crude. May mga reports po that we're expecting anywhere 5 to 6 pesos sa rollback sa diesel this coming Tuesday and 1 peso sa gasoline. Ganun po ba yung datos na nakikita rin ng DOE?
Hindi tayo parehong datos na nakikita. Pero yes, the common thing is that there supposedly kung tuloy-tuloy na lang yung trend, may rollback nga siya. So, I just want to explain how do you compute? 5 days kasi yan Monday to Friday. Friday pa lang tayo ngayon. May isang araw pa tayo na market closing na hinihintay. 8:30 pa mamayang gabi matatapos. So, hopefully kung yung trend lang based on the 4 days, may rollback siya. Pero kung may mangyari ngayon at baka mag-spike ulit, baka maiba yung computation. Pero it's an average of the last 5 days and then yun po yung adjustment na add or minus sa presyo ng last Tuesday. We'll announce tomorrow just to be, I don't want to be speculative. Baka kasi iba yung presyo na lumabas sa computation. But we're hoping po for and praying for a rollback. And with the rollback and then the additional subsidy that will be done by LTFRB. So malaki pong tulong po, most especially po sa public
Can you
transport.
tell us the numbers, ma'am? At least based on the 4-day trading? Baka pwede nyo na sabihin sa mga motorista nating na-excite for a change, magkakaroon ng rollback. First time in, 6 weeks?
Ako rin actually excited kasi this will be my first good news if ever for the last month. But I cannot tell you yet. I'll send a message to Yusek Claire once we get the numbers tonight kung ma-compute na nila. Hopefully, yes.
Nabanggit nyo kanina yung may commitment ng delivery 165 million
Yeah.
liters. Kailan po ito expected darating at saan-saan manggagaling?
The 165 million liters is the 1.042 million barrels. 1.042 barrels. 149 barrels arrived last week, and we're expecting another 300 in the next 3 weeks. So confirmed na yan. I think yung first 300 nasa barko na. It's already on its way. And then naka-stagger yan para spread out din yung storage natin. No? So it's expected the entire 165 million liters for this month of April.
So ma'am, yung scenario of rationing, hindi pa naman ito imminent.
No, sir. We've never discussed it. We haven't considered it. What we have issued as a directive from DOE is no hoarding. Kaya ang directive doon is that kung ano yung kailangan mo sa tangke, kung gusto mo mag-full tank, hanggang full tank. Hindi pwede na may full tank ka na, may container ka pa. That's what we are avoiding para hindi po maubusan din yung mga ibang drivers or ibang kotse.
Thank you.
Salamat po. Ivy Reyes, Bilyonaryo.
Hi, Secretary. The Uplift Committee met to discuss the recommendations of the DPCC on the suspension or reduction of excise tax. May we know what policies were raised to the President's attention po?
Yes. So we have discussed last meeting. I think that was Monday or Tuesday. We discussed it at meet na ang DBC Development Budget Coordination Committee. Kasi na-certify na ng DOE din na pwede na siyang lumampas na siya sa $80. So I think the DBCC has met and I think they have reported that Uplift yung assessment nila on what is the impact if there's a full suspension or half the suspension or 3 months mayan or 1 year. So they presented different scenarios and currently by presenting it to the Uplift Committee together with the President, it was presented already to the President yung evaluation nila. And this will be announced at the proper time, I think, by the President kung anong decision. pero I think yung ano, ang importante kasi talaga dito is we need to soften or lessen the impact on our logistics, on our transportation, kasi ito po yung talaga yung sector na that is affected, highly affected by the oil price hike, tsaka yung presyo po ng basic commodities natin. So, any shaving off of the price will help. No? Kahit maliit man yan, malaki man yan, I think kahit pa konti-konti, mabawasan para mabawasan po yung pressure po sa ekonomiya natin. So, right now, in the last uplift committee, without having decided yet on the or announced yet on the excise tax, we went through all the targeted subsidies na ginagawa na ng DSWD, ng DOTR, and LTFRB. So ito po yung focus muna, and I think next week maybe they'll make an announcement.
Salamat po. Para po sa huling katanungan, Alvin Baltazar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Secretary, good morning po. Good afternoon po. Secretary, kanina nabanggit nyo na sa tulong ng ibang government agencies like Philippine National Police, medyo napigilan natin yung hoarding. Meron po ba tayong record kung ilan yung huli natin and nasampahan na sila ng kaso?
The reports came in, siguro mga hindi naman sumobra sa 1,000 reports through the eGov, because we asked the ICT to help us on the reporting system. And then mga iilan din, hindi naman ganun kadami ang show cause namin. I think we issued less than 100 show cause orders. And ang ngayon, now, sinong pa-filean ng kaso, ginagawa pa po ng legal namin together with the lawyers of the other together with the LGUs and PNP, kasi ginagather yung evidence. So far po, piniprepare pa lang yung mga cases to be filed po.
Gaano po ba kabigat yung kaso ng pag-hoard, saka ano po yung penalty?
We are fortunately, many of these gas stations, binalik na rin ang presyo nila once PNP went there or the mayor went there. Some were closed down by the LGUs also. Pero as far as DOE is concerned, we can, if there is a proven case of profiteering or hoarding, we can cancel their permits para hindi na sila mag-operate.
Secretary, isa na lang.
Yes, sir.
Tungkol ko lang po. Sa usapin ng energy conservation, ilang porsyento yung na-save natin magmula nung campaign natin to conserve energy, tsaka yung nagsimula yung 4-day work week?
Sir, DOE, kasi kami po yung nagre-recommend, we did very well in our conservation. We reached up to 50%, more than 50% savings po sa DOE on fuel and electricity. And among the agencies, I don't have the exact record, pero ang alam ko is more than 80% are compliant with the directive of the President on energy efficiency. So I think it's more than 10% ang masisave. More than 20, I would say even, no? Kasi lahat po na agencies, including PCO, have been compliant with the requirements on their lighting, on their aircon, and also on the conservation on the fuel. I don't have the numbers with me because it would be DBM that has the numbers to determine kung magkano yung ginastos natin for the past month on fuel and electricity. But the reports are showing there are good reports na marami po talagang nag-work from home, because on our agency alone, a 1-day work from home is a 15% savings already.
Salamat po, Secretary.
Salamat po. Mayroon lang pong pahabol na katanungan. Tristan Nadalo, News Watch Plus.
Sec Green, yung sabi nyo nga po kanina, nagbigay na ng recommendation yung DBCC and then up to the decision of the President. But sa part ng DOE, what was your recommendation?
Hindi naman kami nagre-recommend.
Hindi po nagbigay kayo ng report.
No, they presented the different scenarios. DOE is not part of DBCC, but as far as I know lang, because I'm part of the Uplift Committee, they did present all the different scenarios and their possible recommendations. But DOE on our part, wala kaming we're not part of the DBCC.
Parang ano lang po, yung sa $80 per barrel lang na kinonfirm
Yes,
nyo lang.
yes. We confirm, the trigger is $80, so kami magsa-certify na sumobra na siya, and then DBCC will make the recommendation to the President.
Another po na pahabol, Christian Yusores, DZMM.
Nasaan ka? Ay.
Hello po. Kay Chairman Vigor po. Nabanggit din po ng Pangulo na may 20% fare discount para po dun sa mga pasaherong sasakay sa mga PUV under the Service Contracting Program. Paano po malalaman ng publiko kung yung sasakyan nilang mga PUVs ay under the program?
Good question po, no? Meron ho tayong fare matrix na ilalabas para makita ng ating mga pasahero magkano po dapat nila bayaran based on the 20% discount. Remember, this is on top of kung merong mga senior citizen, PWD, or na entitled to already the 20%, may dagdag na 20% po yan. So maglalabas po tayo ng fare matrix para ho dyan, na kailangan nakapastel po sa sasakyan.
And dahil po off-peak hours, mostly na babiyahe po yung mga PUV under the program, how will the commuters determine or find out na yung sasakyan nila ay under the program? Meron po bang ilalagay na special signages?
Meron po tayong karatula na ilalagay na itong sasakyan ay kasama sa programa.
Thank you po.
Salamat po. Wala na pong katanungan para sa DOE at LTFRB. Balik na po sa inyo, Yusek.
Can I just make a comment lang? I just want to appeal on like we're really campaigning for energy efficiency, energy conservation. Kanina po I attended an inauguration of a program on electric vehicles on buses. Kasi po kahit po mag-increase ang presyo ng diesel, ang pag electric vehicle po yung bus mo or yung jeepney mo, hindi po affected masyado ng increase in the diesel price. So that goes for all our activities na we need to conserve talaga because we are so dependent on petroleum. So if we can save on our lighting, on our even sa kotse natin, minimize lang natin yung travel natin, we can protect our economy. Each and every one. It's a whole of country approach. Tulong-tulungan lang po tayo. Kasi medyo may ceasefire ngayon, bumababa yung presyo. Pero, or baka matapos na yung gera bukas. Pero that is between Trump, Iran, and Israel, no? Na gera yun. Pag natapos yung gera niya, baka meron namang iba na namang Trump, Israel, tsaka na mangyari. So we need to be more, we need energy sovereignty, really. We can all contribute to that by saving on energy and electricity. And then next week or this week po, we will start po our weekly Earth Hour na lahat po tayo mag-save ng energy at least 1 hour per week para po let's make that part of our behavior, our activities in our daily lives. Salamat po. Thank you po.
Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Secretary Sharon Garin and LTFRB Chair Vigor Mendoza. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po. Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you.